Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour.
Knowledge of Africa, it's not as great, no doubt, as some of yours, but it's quite good. I've spent about a dozen years since I became a member of this place going to Africa, particularly Central Africa, 2 or 3 times a year. I know now many of the people that run these countries. I know lots of the people who are in opposition, lots of people involved in civil society, and I'm quite well acquainted with the histories and also where politics sits at the moment in these countries.
I really appreciate you joining me again today. This is about Labour MP Eric Joyce. He's a former Labour MP and he's been sentenced to 8 months in prison, but it's suspended for 2 years. And he's ordered to do 150 hours of unpaid work. But the ex-Labour shadow minister has avoided jail for possessing child porn. He had a child porn film involving a baby on his laptop. The 59-year-old had the 51-second film depicting what appeared to be 7 different children, aged between the ages of 12 months old and 7. He was the former shadow minister for Northern Ireland when he was a Labour MP from 2000 to 2012, before becoming an independent and stepping down in 2015. He spent 21 years in the army and rose for the ranks to become a major. He stepped back from Labour following a fight in the Common Strangers bar, where he headbutted 2 Conservatives and punched a Labour whip in the face. The ex-MP was engaged to Sunday Times columnist India Knight in 2015. And Joyce was previously married to his childhood sweetheart Christina, who died. His second wife Rosemary was the headmistress of Tunbridge Grammar School. Joyce from Suffolk pleaded guilty at an earlier hearing at Ipswich Crown Court to the indecent image offence, which took place between August 2013 and November 2018. Judge Justice Eddis, sentencing the former shadow minister on Friday, said, "You have pleaded guilty to an offence which involves the possession of a Category A film that is just less than a minute. That film shows the penetrative sexual abuse of young children, and these acts of abuse happened because people like you want to watch the films. If there was no market, these children would not be getting abused." But the judge added, "You sought help from people and were able to provide it, and the evidence before the court that it has had an effect on helping you reduce, perhaps completely, your impulsive behaviour, and that's happened over a significant period due to the delay in these proceedings." So they're saying that he went to some sort of sexual child abuse prevention training, and the judge was very convinced that this worked. I'm not sure what the actual statistics are for its effectiveness, or if that's even possible scientifically, if they've found any evidence. As I said previously, this is the 6th time that he's been to court. He was a Labour MP and part of government, and he was able to commit a lot of offences, and also now got away with this. In November 2010, the MP for Falkirk at the time was stripped of his licence for a year and fined £400 after he admitted failing to provide a breath test. Police were called to a refinery in Grangemouth after he arrived smelling of alcohol. They heard what sounded like heavy metal rubbing very loudly, suggesting he hit something. March 2012, Joyce was arrested again by police and spent a night in the cells after fighting with politicians in the Strangers Bar in Westminster. He was fined £3,000 and given a community order by Westminster Magistrates Court after he admitted drunkenly assaulting 4 politicians in the bar. In the fight, he headbutted Conservative MP Stuart Andrew, giving him a bloody nose and concussion. He punched Tory councillor Luke Mackenzie, splitting his lip, and he headbutted Tory councillor Ben Maney. He also turned on Labour whip Philip Wilson, punching him also in the face. In August 2012, Joyce was called back to court after using scissors to remove the electronic tag he'd been fitted as part of his community order. In May 2013, Joyce was arrested at Edinburgh Airport after he had an argument with airline staff. He used abusive language towards them when they asked for his flight details as he tried to get back onto the plane. He admitted one charge of breaching the peace at Edinburgh Sheriff Court and was fined £1,000. He was also ordered to pay £100 to an airport worker and £50 to a police officer. March 2014, Joyce was arrested for disturbance of the peace at a karaoke event in the Sports and Social Bar of the House of Commons, where he was seen wrestling with two police officers and holding one in a headlock. The office of the Speaker decided to ban him purchasing or being served alcoholic beverages in the Palace of Westminster, including the 8 bars that it has. So this guy just walks around beating people up inside Parliament. He's assaulted police. He didn't even get charged with that. He got arrested, they said, but then banned from being in the bar. So there was no actual proof of any conviction. In October of 2014, so this is several months later, he received 2 charges of common assault following unjustified and unprovoked attack on 2 children, aged 14 and 15, in a food store in North London. Westminster Magistrates Court heard how one boy had been trying to pass Joyce in a narrow aisle, and after an exchange of words, he was knocked to the floor. He was found guilty of the charges and sentenced to 10 weeks in jail, suspended for 2 years. Joyce was also ordered to pay £1,000 and go on a rehabilitation order to reduce violent behaviour.
I'm not sure I'll ever properly accept the values that are supposed to be accepted by everyone.
This is an MP. In November of 2018, Joyce is arrested for child pornography. He pleaded guilty to one charge of making indecent images of a child between August the 7th, 2013 and November the 6th, 2018. He was given an 18-day rehabilitation activity requirement and ordered to pay the prosecution costs of £2,000. Joyce left Labour to serve as an independent MP for Falkirk, stepping down before the 2015 general election. The prosecution said that the police seized a number of computer devices and hard drives from Joyce's address in November 2018 after receiving intelligence. He said the movie file was later found on an Apple MacBook Air laptop. In police interview, Mr. Proctor said that Joyce said he lived at the address of his partner, India Knight, and that the MacBook device was his and he owned it from brand new. He said Joyce used software to hide his internet activity and claimed in his police interview that he had never seen child abuse material. In a second police interview following analysis of his computer, Mr. Proctor said he told police in relation to the first interview that what he said wasn't true. He had seen images of child abuse. He told the police that the circumstances in which he had come into possession of the movie was that he had been on a Russian or Ukrainian website. He received spam emails and received the link. He said the majority of it was legal, but it was clear to him that some of it wasn't. He also told police he was intoxicated when involved in the activity. He couldn't remember looking for what kind of material. Joyce told the police there was nobody else there that was responsible, Mr. Proctor said. He told police he was not sexually attracted to children and since his arrest had sought help. Mr. Proctor said that the evidence of the searches found material for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10-year-old girls. Their reference to the titles the Crown used are indicative of Category A movies, including 2 men sexually attack a girl. The browser activity suggested he had been searching for that material, and we have no other information as to whether he viewed that material. It seems very likely. The court heard that Joyce's previous convictions included drink driving, common assault and public order offence. The defence said he was a clever, hard-working man and drink destroyed his life, but they said he had now given up the drink. So this MP has had his whole life just excuse after excuse. So Eric Joyce has gotten away with a lot over the years, and it seems he's gotten away with even more now. So I really want to hear what people have to say on this story, and also please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And if you want to support Scarcity, don't forget you can join from £2 a month. Thank you, peace.